So there's this thing called NRL 2020 trading cards. It's never used to be, well, it was a thing, but it never used to be popular. Since we all started going into lockdown and isolation and quarantine, it's all come back. So I've decided, taking it upon my own hands, a lot of YouTubers are starting to do it. I've decided to get here and buy my own packs and start rating players as well. Something a little bit different for you guys. So here we go, guys. Hopefully you enjoy this. Press the like button, subscribe down below, and let's get into rating some NRL cards. So this is what I'm going to do, guys. I'm going to rate them out of 10, talk about them a little bit, but I'm going to do it in team order. So I'm going to start with Manly, and then I'll go into in team order. So first off, we have Reuben Garrick. So he's a very good player. He debuted on the 30th of the 6th. Oh no, that was his date of birth. Sorry, 30th of the 6th, 1997. But he debuted against the Tigers at Leichhardt Oval round 1 in 2019 last year. I do rate this player, Reuben Garrick. I could he's probably a 7 out of 10. But he's the winger. He can kick goals. Very, very good goal kicker. Rate him 7 out of 10. Future Origin player right there. And this is a really good card. We got a signature card. We have Aiden Fanua-Blake. Rate him really highly as well. His first grade debut was in 2016 at Brookvale Oval against the Eels in round 7. I do rate this player around the same as Reuben Garrick, probably around a 7 or an 8. This player right here, probably better than his brother, Jake Trbojevic. Fantastic young player, probably a future immortal. He debuted against the Panthers in 2013. He's now an Origin superstar. I rate this card 9, probably a 9. I rate him out of 9. Next team we're going to do is the South Sydney Rabbitohs, and the first card that we have is Cody Walker. We got a double of him right here, both Cody Walkers. We got a double out of them 4 packs that I got. So Cody Walker, he debuted. His first grade debut was in round 1 in 2016 against the Roosters at Allianz Stadium on that Sunday Arvo game. Fantastic debut he did, but he's a very, very good player. He's not as good as people say. He's probably a little bit overrated, Cody Walker, but I reckon I'm probably going to be a 6 or a 7. I'm going to go with 6. I'm really rough. 6. But this player should be in the Rabbitohs side. He's in the Roosters. He's Latrell Mitchell. Rate him around 8. He debuted the same time actually against in round 1 2016 against the Rabbitohs and the Roosters on the opposite team. So Cody Walker and Latrell Mitchell debuted at the same time. So there we go. Might as well look at that. So the next team we have here is the Sydney Roosters. I'm going to go back to the Sydney Roosters. We got Daniel Tupou. He debuted in 2012 against the Canberra Raiders in round 24. And fantastic young player. I do rate him around a 6 or a 7. He has played Origin before. I believe he was in the New South Wales side that won the series in 2014. So I rate him a 7 out of 10. So in the next team we have here is the New Zealand Warriors. I did happen to get a New Zealand Warriors checklist card, which is pretty cool as well. So, and the only player I got from the New Zealand Warriors was Blake Green. Now, Blake Green debuted in 2007, believe it or not. Against the Eels, he was playing for, I believe, the Eels. I don't know if he played for Raiders, but I believe he was playing for the Eels at Parramatta Stadium in round 4. So he grew up in Cabramatta. He plays 5'8" for the Warriors. He did play for Melbourne and Manly, and he's a really good player, which I thought he was going to play Origin a couple of years ago, but obviously he didn't. And so, yeah, I probably rate him around a 7. The next team we have in the pack is the Newcastle Knights, and we have Edric Lee first up. He debuted in 2012. He was playing for the Raiders at ANZ Stadium. He's a flying winger. He's massive. He's absolutely tall. He is a Queenslander, unfortunately, but he is a really good player. I rate him around probably around a 6 or a 7. And we have Tim Glasby here, played for Queensland last year, debuted in 2013 with the Melbourne Storm. I rate him around a 7 as well. The team we have here is the Penrith Panthers, and we only got one player from the Penrith Panthers, and it is Nathan Cleary. Now, Nathan Cleary, the New South Wales halfback, he is a very, very good player. He debuted when he was 18 years old in 2016 against the Storm at Amy Park in round 13. He is a halfback. He is a very good player in my liking. I probably rate him. He's probably close to a 10. He's not a 10. Oh, no. I'm going to go 9 for Nathan Cleary. He's probably a future immortal Nathan Cleary, so that's why I got him. Rating him 9. Now, the next team. We got a fair few cards for this one. It is the North Queensland Cowboys. We did get a checklist card, which is fantastic. The first player we have, Kyle Felt, a little nice card right there from the Cowboys. He debuted in round 21 in 2013 against the Rabbitohs. He's a winger. He scored the winning try in 2015. I am rating him a 7.5 out of 10. And our next player, we have Jordan McLean. Now, Jordan McLean, he grew up in, I believe, I can't remember where he grew up, but he is a Melbourne junior. He made his debut against the Roosters at Allianz Stadium. He is a prop. He has played Origin before. I'm rating him around a 7 as well. And our final player for the Cowboys, we have the big gun, Jason Taumalolo. That is a very, very good card. Again, this is nearly a 10. I'm going to rate him a 9. He debuted in 2010 at Dairy Farmers Stadium. That's what it used to be called, Old Townsville Stadium up there. But Jason Taumalolo, fantastic player. Big immortal in the future for our game. Rate him a 9. We have the West Tigers right now. I only got 2 players out of the West Tigers. First one is, I can't pronounce that last name. Is that Josh Aolia? Is it? I think it's Josh Aolia. But, yeah, Aolia. No, but, I haven't really heard that much of this player. I'm not going to rate him really highly, but he made his debut against the Warriors at Campbelltown in 2016. He's been around for a bit of a while. I have heard of him, but I've really never really got the chance to actually sit down and watch him as an individual. I haven't really heard big of him. I'm going to rate him around a 5 or a 6, so lowest rating so far. And rate this fella, really. He's a really underrated player. We have Luke Brooks. Now, Luke Brooks debuted in 2013 at the Sydney Cricket Ground against the Dragons. And, yeah, very young player. He might be playing Origin in the future as well, so look out for him. I rate him an 8. Now, the next team, we have the Gold Coast Titans. Now, the first card we have right here is Shannon Boyd. Now, Shannon Boyd, he grew up in Canberra, I believe. He played for Canberra. He debuted against the Cowboys in 2014 in round 1 at 1300 Smile Stadium. He's a prop. He hasn't really done that much for the Titans. I did rate him when he was at the Raiders, but now ever since he's gone to the Titans, he hasn't done much. I rate this player a 6 out of 10. The next Gold Coast Titans player, we have Philip Sammy. Now, Philip Sammy, he is a fantastic player, Philip Sammy. I do rate him highly in the future. He is going to be... he plays. It's saying that he's a centre. I reckon his main position is an actual winger. He did play fullback at the start of the year because of AJ Brimson. Don't know what he's going to play when the footy gets back. It started at the 28th of May. That did get announced today. Was it yesterday or today? I don't know. But it did get confirmed. So, guys, let's go. 28th of May. Footy's getting back on. He did debut against the Rabbitohs at ANZ Stadium in 2017. And I rate him a 7 out of 10. Parramatta Eels is the next team right up, and first off we have Junior Paulo. Now Junior Paulo, he debuted in 2013 against the Dragons. He is a prop. I do really recommend this bloke. He hasn't done much for the Eels over the past 1 or 2 years, but he is a good player. I rate him probably around a 7, maybe a 7 out of 10. Next player we have Nathan Brown. Now Nathan Brown, old Brownie, debuted in 2013. He is getting a little bit old, Nathan Brown, I believe. And, not really. 1993 is not old at all, really. It's not old at all. He is a real youngie. He will be a future Origin player, hopefully. So I rate this player probably around a 7.5. Now, on to the Melbourne Storm. Now, we have 4 cards right here with the Melbourne Storm. The first card we have the hooker, the captain, Cameron Smith. Now, it's a pretty good card, Cameron Smith. It's a nice feel to the card. He's a very good old-time player. He was born in 1983. He's a hooker. He debuted in 2002 against the Bulldogs in round 5 at Olympic Park in Melbourne. I rate him around. He's got to be a 9.5, Cameron Smith. He's got to be a 9.5. We have, next up, Nelson Asofa Solomona. Now, Nelson Asofa Solomona, he did debut in 2015 against the Manly Seagulls in round 8 at Amy Park. but he has been playing for the Kiwis a lot. Nelson Solomon, he's massive. He's a putty big fella. I can tell you that. I rate him about probably around a 7.5. We have Cameron Munster up here. I reckon he's a little bit overrated, Cameron Munster, but that's all right. So 5'8". Cameron Munster debuted in 2014. I do rate him around 8.5 probably. Cameron Munster. He's not as good as Nathan Cleary or Cameron Smith, but he is up there with one of the best players in the NRL at the moment. But I think he's a little bit overrated, just a tiny bit. Not overly overrated, but he is just a little bit overrated. And last player, I do like this player, Brandon Smith. Now, Brandon Smith debuted in 2007 against Newcastle. He played for the Maori All-Stars. He has played for the Kiwis. Looking forward to watching him in the future. I do rate him an 8 out of 10. Getting down to the final teams right now, and we have the Dragons up next. We have Tim Laffey, debuted in 2011 against the Bulldogs. Well, hey, hold on, no, whoa. Did he play for the Bulldogs or the Rabbitohs? I think he played for the Rabbitohs. Haven't seen that much of him. He is a really good, he's all right of a player. I do rate him probably around a 6.5 or a 7. He didn't really catch my eye early in his career. He still hasn't. So yeah, he's a centre, probably a 6.5. Next Dragons player, we have Corey Norman. Now Corey Norman, he's inconsistent. That's what I can say. He's inconsistent, Corey Norman. I reckon he debuted in 2010. I'm going probably a 7, Corey Norman. Up next, we have my favourite team, the Cronulla Sutherland Sharks. First off, we have Britton Nakora. Britton Nakora, he debuted in 2019 last year in round 1 against Newcastle Knights. We all reckon that he was a good player, and he is a fantastic player. He's played for the New Zealand Kiwis as well, and so yeah, he plays second row. I do rate him very highly, probably around an 8, probably an 8.5. He's really underrated, Britton Nakora, to be honest. And here we go. We have Andrew Fafita. He hasn't done that much since 2016, I can tell you that much. But Andrew Fafita debuted in 2010 with the Tigers. He's a prop. I rate him probably around a 7.5. Getting low on cards now, guys. Next up, we have the Canterbury Bankstown Bulldogs. First off, we have Dylan Napa. Now, Dylan Napa did play for the Roosters. He has played for Queensland. He is a prop. He weighs 113 kilos. And, he's a good player, Dylan Napa. Since he went to the Bulldogs, though, he's gone a little bit quiet. But I reckon he's a probably solid 8 out of 10. We have Josh Jackson, another good player that probably deserves to be at another club, but played Origin before. He's a really, really good tackler, Josh Jackson. He debuted against the Storm at Virgin Australia Stadium. I have no idea where that is. And, he's probably an 8.5, Josh Jackson. Final player, I did get doubles from Dylan Napa, but we have Aiden Tolman, a pretty sick card there from Aiden Tolman. And he debuted in 2008 with the Melbourne Storm. He was in there with the salary cap scandal. He plays prop, probably rate him around probably 6.5 to 7. Now we have 2 teams left, well, mostly one team. We have the Brisbane Broncos, but we have the League Stars as well. So I'm going to do the League Stars all separate all the time, just because they're a different type of card, and they're just a representative stars. So Anthony Milford's up for the Brisbane Broncos. He debuted in 2013 against at Canberra Stadium against Canberra. And he played for Canberra. That's right. He played for Canberra in the 5'8" position. He was alright when he was in his younger days when they played in the 2015 Grand Final at Brisbane Broncos. He's gone quiet since. I rate him probably around a 7.5. Last player for the Brisbane Broncos, and we have Payne Haas. Now, Payne Haas, I like to call him Pain in the Ass because no one likes to tackle him. But he plays in the prop position. Debuted in 2018 against the Rabbitohs. New South Wales forward. Love him for New South Wales. He's a handful to tackle, Payne Haas. I rate him an 8.5 out of 10. Now, last group of cards left. We have the first card for the representative stars. We have Boyd Cordner. Now, Boyd Cordner, he's got the Australian Kangaroos jersey on. He's the captain of the Australian Kangaroos. He plays in the second row. He's the Roosters and New South Wales captain. Debuted in 2013. And no, that was the team debut. That was against the Fiji in the 2013. Was it 2013 World Cup? I believe it was the 2013 World Cup. Yep, it is. So yeah, fantastic player, Boyd Cordner. I do rate him an 8.5 out of 10. And the next one, we have a women's player. We have Millie Boyle, Morgan Boyle's sister, I believe, and she did debut against New Zealand. Is it New Zealand Ferns? I think it's New Zealand Ferns. But in 2019, she's a prop. She was born in 1998. I really rate her really highly, probably around an 8 out of 10 also. Now, we have an Indigenous All-Stars player right here. We have Leilani Latu, the final card. Debuted in 2016 for the Indigenous All-Stars there in Brisbane. He's a prop. Yeah, we have all forwards for the representative stars. No backs. A little bit disappointing. But forwards do a good job. So yeah, I rate him probably around a 7 out of 10. He's not the highest rated player, but still a good player. There we go, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this first episode of this new series. I'm going to be buying these cards very, very often. And yeah, we got a fair few as well. We got a fair few right there as well. Yeah, thank you for joining me on this video. Hopefully you liked it. Make sure you hit the subscribe button down below, turn on post notifications, like and comment, and let me know if you're collecting these cards, because I'd love to hear from you how much you got, if you're close to finishing the collection, if you're willing to give them away for free. Nah, I'll collect my own, guys. Thank you for watching. Remember, up Cronulla.